Okay, Emmy fans, we are just days away from the start of Emmy voting. Who and what's going to be nominated? I don't know, but this guy does.
I do.
Pete Hammond of Deadline Hollywood, who is a longtime Emmy voter, previous governor of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, and longtime scribe on the awards front.
Yes.
So let's talk drama series.
Okay.
What's going on?
All right. Well, you know, we're looking at 7. We think there's going to be 7 nominees. I think there's going to be some new blood in there.
There's no Game of Thrones, which won last year, and Downton Abbey is out.
Definitely, in terms of a winner last year and the last couple of years, we're going to have a new winner. And I think that The Crown is going to take Downton Abbey's kind of place here, you know, for those who can't get enough of the Brits.
But isn't it kind of old now? And it was out, what, 6 months ago, 8 months ago? That's my only worry about it.
It won a lot of awards. That stays in the minds of these people. The big shocker is it got nothing at BAFTA. And that was like
a British award.
A British award. But I don't think that's going to affect the Emmys. I thought that was more of a political issue with BAFTA and the BBC as opposed to this show is on Netflix. And Netflix has really been campaigning here with all of their shows, though, and they almost have too much. So for a show like The Crown to be their crown jewel, as it were, it's difficult because they also have Stranger Things, another new show they're pushing, which won big at the SAG Awards.
And it won Producers Guild. And this is where these awards affect each other and should be effective tea leaves for us. But you and I have had this conversation. I don't know if I believe the Stranger Things thing because even though it won PGA, won SAG, and that should mean it's automatically nominated. It's still kind of quirky, isn't it, for the Emmy taste?
It is quirky, you know, and we've seen these kinds of shows go down the tubes with Emmy voters before. They are still snobs at heart. And they also tend to go with what they voted before. So, you know, Homeland and those kind of things are maybe more likely to show up than something new like Stranger Things, which is only really, let's face it, been on for 10 episodes. That's right. So, but I think those previous awards, the PGA and SAG, gave it a higher profile in terms of voters. And I think once they watch the show, and I think that will get them to watch the show, they'll find it's really fresh, original, and something different. We're not talking a Battlestar Galactica situation here, or something where, or The Walking Dead, where they just immediately reject it no matter what because of genre. I think this one sort of falls in the middle. So I say Netflix is going to be in big time with Stranger Things and The Crown shaking this up, along with another new show, The Handmaid's Tale, which could put stars in the mix for the
Hulu.
Sorry, Hulu.
So and that's what's so cool. The streaming services are making these major inroads now.
Yes.
We've had Transparent win a top Emmy with Jeffrey Tambor, but in these top categories, we haven't seen any other streaming service prevail. So if you're right with Netflix, this is huge.
Yeah, no, I know. We're looking at a big sea change here. And Hulu really getting in here. You know, they've had The Path. The Path didn't make it in its first season, and it's likely not to this season, too. Once you don't connect right away, it's very difficult. Although the Americans have proven.
I know, in its 5th season, it finally got nominated.
Yeah, you know, so it's never say
never.
never. But I do think that this show, The Handmaid's Tale, it came out at the right time. You know, to compare to an Oscar campaign, it's like releasing it in November or December, and it's gotten a lot of attention, particularly for Elizabeth Moss and the concept of the show, even though it's difficult to watch.
Westworld will be the HBO entry. That's what you've got here. I think that's a good choice. Again, very weird. They're very kind of quirky for them.
Yeah.
This Is Us. If we just look at the experts' predictions at Gold Derby, they're divided between The Crown and This Is Us as the winner.
Yeah.
If This Is Us wins, it's a big victory for the first time for broadcast television.
Huge. Since The Good Wife was last nominated, I don't think they've had a...
That's right. They haven't even had a broadcast nominee
broadcast nominee. Right. So, you know, this would be big. But the broadcasters, like the big major studios on the movie side, have sort of given it away to cable and now to streamers in terms of the kind of quality shows that Emmy voters want to see. I mean, but This Is Us is a show that it hits it all. It's the perfect storm. It's a big ratings hit, and it's also a smart, well-written television show that happens to be on a broadcast network. And hopefully they don't just drive it into the ground, you know, and take care of it, because it is a very well-made show. It's done by these guys who come from movies that are really smart writers, and I think it really works. I would be shocked to not see that not only nominated, but not as a favorite here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a water cooler show. It's a show that had buzz. People cared about it. It's like
Yes.
Handmaid's Tale now. These are shows that have this kind of energy in the system and the industry that the voters and the pundits like us look for.
You know what is so funny is CBS, Les Moonves keeps saying, why do you keep talking about This Is Us being the big show,
Which is
show?
NBC, right?
Yeah, because he's saying Bull is a much bigger hit. You know, but Bull is exactly the kind of network show that the Emmys will ignore.
right. So
that's the difference here.
Here are your other nominees. The Americans, we mentioned, finally got in this year.
Yeah, and it'll get in because this is its last go-round.
Yes.
And so I think once they embraced it, they'll embrace it again here. So I'm certain that'll get in.
I'm sure. Also, the finale was so great. The critical buzz has remained. Better Call Saul, it's like an automatic nominee every year. This will be back.
Yep.
And if you include your Handmaid's Tale and Westworld, that's your 7.
Yeah.
But Pete, you don't have
I know.
automatic nominee Homeland. It's always been nominated.
know.
It's won here.
Or House of Cards.
Or House of Cards you don't have.
Yes.
Wow.
Breaking news, Tom.
Wow, whack.
Breaking news.
What's the matter with you?
I'm sick of them.
Oh, well, in that case, that's a good thing to base a
Can I
prediction
just
on.
be sick of them? Enough.
Yes,
They don't,
right.
you know, I mean, Homeland's won. I really like Homeland. It's a very good show.
But it's always nominated. You're
Yeah,
talking a
that's
minute ago
what
about automatic
it's
not repeats.
time for new blood here.
You're contradicting yourself. The Americans is nominated last
No,
year,
The
so they'll be
Americans
back.
is on its second nomination if it gets
right,
nominated.
right.
No. Homeland has been nominated every year except the one year I don't think it was eligible or something.
right,
it wasn't
right,
on.
right.
House of Cards, you know, sort of lost its momentum, although it's, you know, apparently the new season is
quite good.
Yeah.
Now, would you be totally shocked if Westworld doesn't get in as HBO's nominee,
Right.
but The Leftovers does? I could
yes.
see that happening. You would be
I
shocked?
would be
Why?
shocked
Why?
because The Leftovers hasn't gotten this kind of attention. And for
I
it
disagree.
finally,
I think, you know, you go into the message boards at Gold Derby,
Yeah.
the forums. The thread on The Leftovers
Yeah.
is like the most popular thread that we have, and these are
well, as you know, I am predicting Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada,
Of
is
course.
going to be nominated, and he doesn't even know he was in a show. Justin Trudeau
Yes.
as a nominee in the drama series lead actor category for that. That's my little
That's your
bid to The Leftovers.
bone to them.
I
Okay.
don't think The Leftovers is going to creep into the drama. I just think it's too competitive, and I think Westworld's higher profile for them. This may be the last season of Leftovers, but I don't know. I don't think the Emmy voters.
Look,
in
some of
general-
the instances in the past where shows were in their final season, they finally got in. Friday Night Lights, Star Trek: The Next Generation. They were all we'd given up hope on all those shows,
Yes,
and they
that's
suddenly
true.
got in.
Yeah,
So
well,
this
you never
could
know.
happen.
Americans, we gave up
Right.
hope
And
on
also
that.
remember how the Emmy ballot works. This is a case of where we're both voters. You get your list, you check off 10.
Yes.
You no longer rank, you check off 10.
Right.
And so I think there's enough cult support for The Leftovers to make it a viable candidate. I don't think it's going to get in either. It's not my prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did get in.
Okay, well, I would be slightly surprised.
American Gods, I love this show. This is a Starz entry, of course. It's got great critical buzz,
Yeah.
but
I just think it's too weird for
yeah, maybe
Academy
too weird.
members.
Orange is the New Black has been nominated in the past.
I don't think that's getting in now either. Orange is the New Black sort of hurt itself switching categories and confusing
Right,
people, and so I don't see that. Although, as voting goes on, it's very prominent because you've got all the billboards around town for the new season of Orange is the New Black, which supposedly is better than last year's. But we're voting on last year's season. I didn't think it was particularly distinguished. I don't see Orange is the New Black, and my God, how many Netflix shows can you have in here?
I know. Look,
This
there's
is ridiculous.
last contender on our discussion list is a past nominee last year
Yes.
that you also snubbed.
Yes.
Mr. Robot.
I know.
Why?
Because the
What do you have against Mr. Robot?
The second season, the first season was okay, but the second season really fell off the cliff.
I agree that it had major problems, I know.
And I guarantee you the Academy noticed that. I don't think this show is sustaining itself, and it will not get rewarded, especially with this level of competition and new toys for us to play with here. I don't see Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is last year's news.
We stand now, Pete saying this race is going to the crown as the winner, and I say it's This Is Us. What do you say?